Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 95 of Heard You Like Me, and this one is titled Cat Yin. Momo took the broken watch from her pocket and handed it to you, and you passed it to the man, who curiously turned it over in his hand. No! Leave my watch alone! The girl, still tied on the floor, yelled. Is this your watch? The man asked, looking through the door to the girl. Would you like to explain how it works? No! She pouted heavily, turning her head the other way so that she wasn't looking at the man anymore. He looked at you, and you shrugged. Well, by holding this watch, I can tell that the quirk power comes from this watch, he said, and judging by the animals on the face of this watch, she has the ability to turn people into these animals. You looked at the watch and nodded. Yeah, we were all turned into these animals, he said. Wow, literally all of them. I could have had you all, she mumbled into the floor, but you and the man decided to ignore her comment. Weird though, only 2 people from our class weren't turned into animals, you commented. Is it because she only had the capacity to use the animals on the face here, and she didn't have enough space in her quirk power to make us all change? Highly possible, the man mused. But I do know that some animal transition quirks rely on blood type too. Who were the 2 that didn't change? Me, Mina said as she raised her hand. And Takayami. He's in the boys' cabin right now. I can go and get the rest of the class if you like. Yeah, might be good, the man said with a nod of his head. Say, young lady, what blood type are you? Oh, I'm a rare blood type. I'm AB, she said brightly. I see, the man said. Yes, usually the more unusual blood types aren't as readily affected in transformation or transition quirks. Who's the other person who didn't get affected? What's his blood type? I'm not sure, Mina said. Wait and I'll get him. She ran off to go and get the boys, and then pretty soon you saw them all walking towards you across the grass. As they got closer, Denki sheepishly stepped out ahead and walked over to you and the guy, and hung his head with shame. Hey, I'm so sorry, he said sadly with his head down. I caused this whole mess. No, you didn't, you said to him. Yeah, I did, because I was talking to her on the train, and I told her we'd be here, he said as he looked up at the guy. I can tell you what I know from our conversation on the train. Yeah, might be helpful, the guy said. But for now I want to make sure everyone is okay. Denki here was the closest to being done away with, you said softly as you placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. Check him first. I feel okay, Denki said, as the guy reached out and placed a hand on his head. My sides are a little sore from where she squeezed me, but aside from that I feel okay. Yeah, there's no residual quirk in him, the man said after activating his quirk. He's made a full physical recovery. Interesting, he said physical, you thought. So mental might not be the same? Man, I could have had everyone killed, Denki thought sadly, and you sighed internally and placed a hand on Denki's shoulder again. Yeah, he's scarred. Poor guy, you thought. Just then Mina stepped out of the group with Tokoyami, and Tokoyami proudly announced that he too was of AB blood type, same as Mina, and the man hummed with amusement. How fascinating, he said, then returned to placing his hands on the boys to make sure that they were okay. After going around and testing all the boys and girls, it just came down to you, and he moved you aside so that he could do a more lengthy test, and then nodded at the end once he had had his hand on your head for a long time. Yes, you still have some of the quirk in effect, he commented. Wow, genius. The ears and tail didn't give it away? You thought sarcastically, feeling like you were going around in circles here. So, what does that mean? Am I like this permanente? You asked. No, I don't think so, he commented. I could feel your body metabolizing the quirk, so the ears and tail should disappear sometime soon. But you probably got it more either because you were the one to take her watch, or you were the one to break the quirk hold first. Sometimes there's a burst of quirk energy just before the hold is broken, he explained, and you gave him an impressed look. Wow, you sure know your stuff, you mused. Oh, I've been around for a while, he replied with a smile. Just be aware too that while the residual quirk matter is in your body from another quirk, you could feel a little weird. Some people get pins and needles in their limbs, some get migraines, some get a really itchy body part, others have panic attacks. So if you feel strange at any point, it could be from the quirk factor fighting inside your body. But if you wait it out, you should be okay. But if you have any concerns, head to the hospital right away. Okay, thank you, you said. For now I feel fine. It's just these extra ears and tail that have me a little spun out. Understandable, he nodded. Just then 2 police cars pulled into the parking lot across the way, and 4 police hopped out. Here come the clean-up crew, you commented to the man. Let me talk to them for a second. Yes, not a problem, he said, as he watched you walk away and over to the police to direct them to where they could pick the girl up. It was an interesting day that day. Most of it was spent with the class just sitting around and talking about what had happened, and at first everyone was a little morose, but then humour stories started coming out and it really brought the whole mood up. "Who was the golden retriever?" Denki asked, looking around the group. "You scared the hell out of me when you barked. I wasn't expecting that." "Oh, that was me," Karishma replied with a sharp, toothy grin. "I didn't know who everyone was, but I could tell that we had all been turned into animals, so I was barking to try and talk, but I just ended up scaring everyone. Bakugo, were you the porcupine?" "Yeah," Bakugo grunted. "Yeah, that makes sense," Denki mused with a smirk. "Yeah, I could still hear your inner thoughts, so I knew who most of you were," you added in. "Oh, you could?" Momo asked. "Hey, at least now you can say you've heard the animal's inner thoughts," Jirou said, remembering that you had mentioned that you wanted to hear what they were thinking. "Yeah, true, it kind of doesn't count though, because you guys were all humans, so you weren't thinking animal things," you said, "but thank you for making my dream kind of come true. If I wasn't in full cat mode, I would definitely have cuddled the penguin." "That was me," Sato said. "I've never been more scared in all my life. I woke up and I couldn't move properly, and then I caught sight of my reflection in the mirror in the cabin, and I nearly fell over." You chuckled along with the rest of the classmates. "What a wild event," you chuckled. "Are you keeping those cat ears as a memento?" Sarah suddenly asked, gesturing to your cat ears on your head. "Sarah, don't be rude. Ribbit. What if they're stressing you out? Ribbit?" Sue asked. "Sue, I'm okay, I promise," you said with a smile. "They're not permanent, so I guess I need to enjoy them while I have them." "Do they work the same as cat's ears would?" Eureka asked from across the bed from you. I guess," you asked. "I do feel like I'm a little more sensitive to sounds, but maybe that's just me because of my quirk." "How interesting," she mused. "Well," Tokoyami said, "I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get to turn into a bat or something." "Oh, she did have a bat on her watch," you said. "You did have the opportunity, but your blood type is too OP." Tokoyami sighed. "Missed out on being born on Halloween by one day, and missed out on being turned into a bat for a time," he thought as he closed his eyes and crossed his arms across his chest. "Disappointment all round." You smiled to yourself at his internal comment. "Well, I guess all is well that ends well," you thought as the conversations continued. The rest of that day was a relatively lazy day. More hot springs moments, which Jirou enjoyed, seeing your half-transformed self in the pool, and mused quietly to herself about how low-key cute you looked with ears and a tail, but you were just looking forward to getting back to your own human form again. I haven't had any weird symptoms, thankfully, but I do just want to lose these extra pieces, you thought, as you got out of the hot springs water and dried your tail. And there ends Chapter 95. Stay tuned for Chapter 96 coming tomorrow. See you then.